Greetings and salutations. This is Jason Silverain, and today I'll be doing a review of delicious Pretty Girls Mahjong Solitaire. Now, this is released by Zoo Corporation, and it's certainly not their first Mahjong game. Actually, it's one of many in the series, with two major differences really. One, it's got far more ladies in it than their previous releases, and two, it's for the low price of 79 pence, where all their previous titles were $10.99. Now, I certainly don't know why their previous titles were so expensive, but looking at the previous reviews, a lot of them said the same thing. Decent mechanics, vastly overpriced. So I think they've just decided, you know what, we've got the formula down, we're going to release one, we're going to make it less than £1 and just roll in the lots and lots of small buys rather than trying to get a handful of large buys. Now, those previous reviews actually apply to this one as well. Despite the advertisements for this game, you'll see nothing that's more than PG-13, maybe a lady in a swimsuit, bikini, a tiny bit of cleavage here and there. But the game's actually relatively solid, believe it or not. Now, you've got your typical options. Got a nice little, very basic instruction to how to play Mahjong. Lots of credits going here, and the music is actually one of the best things in this game. Of the characters I've played, each character seems to have a different series of themes, one for each of their rounds. Now, I've not played through all the characters as of yet, but this is just my impressions from the characters I have played. The music itself is very perky, very fast-paced, and pretty damn cool. Options are pretty basic. It's amazing how actually loud this game is. I've had to turn it right down. And while it says English language, the girls will speak in Japanese, so I have no clue what they're saying. You have a dressing room option as you progress through the game. I'm just going to... Essentially, this is what you get. The girls all have different costumes. And you can essentially go zoom, up and down. And that's probably one of the more risque costumes. As you can see, there's quite a few ladies and one final one to unlock once you've completed all the others. This is kind of the topping on the game. It'd actually be a relatively solid game without this. And I actually thought of a few ways, you know, they could quite possibly make it more interesting if they ever moved away from this formula. However, the art style's pretty. As anime goes, they've got a nice variety of characters. But again, if you're looking for more adult material, my suggestion is go use Google, you'll have more luck. Now getting into the, restart the game. This is just an example of the game in progress. Now, there's usually 3 rounds to each costume. And the girls have a different amount of rounds depending on the girls. Basically, obviously, each different character have different amount of costumes available to them. But as you see, actually before I really continue, it's all time-based with this solitaire. As you go on, your time goes down. You can increase this time by doing combos. As you see, it jumped up a little bit there. And this little timer just tells you how long before you can make your next... Well, how long you've got until you can continue your combo. And the longer your combo continues, the harder it gets to actually do that. As it gets... Well, that just goes down faster and faster. Now, just going here, there's a lot of... very easy access seems to be this game's theme. It's very casual, very easy to pick up, very easy to put down. Now, if I go back to stage select... Yeah. Just to see what's going on. See, that's possibly one of the most risky pictures in the whole game. Now, regarding to more technical elements of the game again, it's got Steam cards, it's got Steam achievables. Actually requires 12 cards to get the badge, and you'll get about 6 in drops. You know, so for a game that's 79 pence, you might end up paying more than... You know, if you want to get the badge, you might end up paying as much as for the game, because the cards are about 10 pence at the moment. So I'm just going to start a random level. Just because there's another thing I want to go over. You can see the background changes, and the music's changed again. Now the first round is usually relatively easy, though there's been a lot of complaints that the game does like to throw a lot of unable to continue combinations at you. And I've actually personally found a little personal issue with the game. It might just be a sign of me getting old, but I find the game is very visually noisy, making it a bit difficult to pick out things at times. As you can see, like with the little fireworks effect, first round is very easy, but as you progress, you'll find that the combination of the background, the lack of time, all that lot, you won't even pay attention to all the, the fan service, let's call it what it is. You'll be too focused on the actual mahjong to do any, to really care. But as I said, as mahjong games go, this is actually relatively solid. I mean, I've been playing mahjong way back on the days of the Amiga, and I've always been a kind of a fan of it. Even as a little kid, I didn't really understand what I was doing, and a lot of it resulted in me clicking randomly. And on Steam, actually, it's one of the cheapest mahjong games out there. So, to be honest, when I first went into this, I was expecting to be completely garbage. A lot of games like this, unfortunately, rely on fan service, tend to be of very poor quality, and the core gameplay suffers. This kind of has the reverse effect. It's actually, it knows what it is. It plays up the fan service, but they've also provided a decent game. Now, if you're looking for proper mahjong, there's lots of other sources you can find, but I'd give it a try. It's cheap, it's cheerful, and you're not going to lose much if it turns out you don't like it. I wouldn't play it in public, to be honest. It'd be a bit embarrassing. It's just one of those, unfortunately falls under... well, yeah, it supports unfortunate stereotypes of this nature of game. And I can see some people using it as an example of, oh, women are being used as sex objects in games. Unfortunately, this will happen. But I would like to see more inspired games like this. I mean, I'd love to see a game like this which takes a bit of a puzzle quest approach, where it's mahjong, but you're doing it in order to, I don't know, fight off an opponent, or it's like you're battling, and the longer you take, your character gets beaten up, sort of thing. But yeah, that's all I've really got to say on it. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it's relatively decent, it's surprisingly good as a mahjong game. However, it does suffer from a poor shuffling algorithm that will cause you to want to vent a little bit every so often, as you, after like 8 times in a row, you've got, oh sorry, no moves remaining. And, that's all I've really got to say on this. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.